Everyone, remain calm.
Back for more, huh?
Oh, yeah. That's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
Somebody talk to me! What is happening?
Welcome to Jurassic World.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Jurassic Park Podcast.
How long is it going to take for that to spread around the globe?
This was all John Hammond's dream. Hold on to your butts.
Seriously? Well, we're back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 191st episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Jost, and we're here to discuss all things Jurassic Park. Can you believe it? It's Jurassic June. It's here. What happened? How is it June? I am blown away. I don't know what's going on. I am literally confused at what time of day it is, where I am, and that is besides the point, but it's Jurassic June. You probably already heard our bonus episode. Our videos are all over YouTube right now. We are celebrating as much as possible. It's going to be a nice long month, hopefully. Fingers crossed. There's a lot of good Jurassic stuff out there this month. I am excited, and I know you guys are sharing some great stuff. So this is going to be a fun month. I look forward to it each and every year. And the Jurassic fandom really steps it up a notch, supports each other, does some great stuff. I am very excited by this month. We will be continuing the hype train all month long with new bonus episodes, maybe some giveaways, all kinds of stuff. So keep your eyes out on our website, our Twitter, our Instagram, our Facebook, everywhere you can. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So, in this episode, our shipment was slightly delayed here, but we're back with the letters and calls for the Jurassic Mailbag. Jennifer Terek, again, joins me to sift through the mailbag and get to the bottom of all of your thoughts and concerns, while, of course, absolutely answering not a single one of your questions, because that's just how the mailbag works. As always, just in case you want to be a part of the next Jurassic Mailbag, you can always call our voicemail line at 732-825-7763. You can also email us some audio files or questions at JurassicParkPod@gmail.com, or of course head to our contact page over on our website, JurassicParkPodcast.com, to fill out that contact form. Now, even though you haven't heard this month's episode just yet, we are already collecting questions for the next mailbag. But we do have some interesting news to relay in our news segment regarding Jurassic World 3, maybe, some Jurassic World Evolution stuff, and maybe an animated series, so we'll take a look at all that stuff in the news. But before we get all this going, why don't we take care of some business? So first off, I wanted to mention that I had the awesome chance to guest on the Forcecast this past week. The Forcecast is a huge Star Wars show out there for many, many years. So it's an awesome show. So I spoke with one of the hosts, Ryan Donahoe, and we actually talked all about the Jurassic community, whether or not Universal may be taking the franchise in the right direction. And of course, we talked about the theme parks, what they're doing out there in Orlando and California and whatnot. And of course, I just can't help but talk about theme parks no matter what podcast I'm on. This one, Grim Grinning Hosts, Forcecast now, so I'm constantly talking about the theme parks. But we had a great chat on their Force Chat episode, which is, he actually released a special episode. It's their third one that they've done, and they released this one on their main feed this time, just to kind of get some hype going for the Force Chat episodes, which are, something that you can actually join up and be a part of to help support the Forcecast. So you just got to make sure to join the Force. I'll leave all the notes in our show notes here so you can actually listen to the episode and get a chance to join the Force with the Forcecast. So make sure to check that out. It's a wonderful show, and I loved being a part of it there. So go check that one out. So as for us, over on YouTube, we did a few things last week. We didn't go too crazy. We didn't post as much as I wanted to, but we did get to do a toy hunt where I found the the new Savage Strike items that are out at Walmart. So that was cool. I got to track down the likes of the new Dilophosaurus, the Pachycephalosaurus. What else is out there? Another blue. So if you want to see another blue, that's there. And the newest raptor that they have out there. So go check that video out. I also did review the Destroy and Devour Indominus Rex. So that thing is one of the coolest toys that Mattel has made. So, period. That's it. It's amazing as far as Jurassic toys are concerned. So go check out that video. I think it came out great. We also released a few episodes back. We're still catching up on the main episodes over on YouTube. So I put together the Jurassic Pop quiz. I don't know. That was like 2 episodes ago now, I guess. And now, starting this week, we've been already releasing stuff since this episode was a day late. We actually had the chance, which we're going to get into more in the news segment, but our podcast and our contributors had the chance to go out to Frontier and their headquarters to learn more about Jurassic World Evolution, which I'm sure you guys all know about. You guys know what's going on. So you can check out, Tom did a little wrap-up summary video that you can check out, and also me, Tom Fishenden, Tom Jurassic, as you know him on Twitter, and Stephen Hurl from Jurassic Unicast. The 2 of those guys actually had the chance to go out there, so we did a big wrap-up episode. It was like 40-something minutes, and we talked about each and every detail that's coming to Jurassic World Evolution. These aren't leaks at this point. These are real things that are coming, and they're big. So go check that one out if you haven't heard, or if you haven't listened to that one yet. It is also in our podcast feed as well. So if you did, maybe you listened to it yesterday, I don't know. But that was a great chat, so make sure to check that one out. As far as the rest of the week is concerned over on YouTube, I don't know. We'll see what I get around to. I don't know what kind of time I have this week. I got a new computer here, so I'm trying to push things out, push out more content to you guys a little bit quicker. So hopefully once I get settled in with this thing and get everything working, I'll push out some more videos for you guys each and every week. So stay tuned. Also regarding that Jurassic World Evolution update, Tom and Steve wrote up a great article on our website. So go track that one down. And again, like I said, I'll talk about more of that in the news segment. One last thing before we jump into the episode, I did want to give a shout out to Jack Ewens. He's been working really, really hard on a new series that he's created and digitally animated and all this stuff. It's awesome. As far as I've heard, sorry, Jack, I have not gotten a chance to watch episode 1 just yet, but you guys need to check out Dino Defenders Extreme. Chapter 1 has released over on his YouTube page, Terradome 3000, so I'll try to include a link in our show notes, but the first episode is called The Petri Dish. I know he's been working very hard on it. We've gotten, glimpses behind the scenes and stuff over the past few months and everything, so I know it's a really exciting time for him in that show, so make sure to go watch that, and I am actually really looking forward to it myself. As soon as I get some time, I will be checking it out as well, so just a little shout out to Jack, so check it out. But enough of all that, why don't we go ahead and get this episode kicked off with a little bit of Jurassic news from around the world.
18 minutes and your company catches up on 10 years of research.
Access main program. Access new security.
These pictures were taken in hospital in Costa Rica 48 hours ago.
I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but look.
Boy, my head being right all the time.
It's day. I guarantee it.
All right, so first off here in the news, I wanted to highlight our trip out to Frontier. Out in the UK, they brought us out to their studios to check out everything related to Jurassic World Evolution in their new updates. So Tom Fishenden and Steve Hurl had the chance to go cover everything out there. I'm sure you guys maybe already listened to our bonus wrap-up episode for Jurassic June so far, our first one. Now, they covered, or actually we all covered everything that they talked about and that they found out in that episode there, so go check that out. And like I said, Tom and Steve wrote up a great article. The videos are on YouTube, all this stuff. You've probably seen the trailers already. But the big announcement, I guess, from that was Claire's Sanctuary. So that's a new DLC involved in the game. So Bryce Dallas Howard is returning to voice Claire for that DLC, where you basically have to save some dinosaurs from Nublar, bring them over to Sanctuary Island. I'll leave all the fine details to our other episodes, so you can go check that out. But that was only a portion of everything they learned. They also talked about update 1.8, so there's a lot of different stuff in there, and of course the new dinosaurs that are coming to the game. So there's a lot, I think, in this batch of updates here, whether it's the new DLC or the free update. So I think you guys will be really excited to dive back into Jurassic World Evolution. So make sure, like I said, hit up our show notes. You can actually read the full article that lays out each and every detail. In that article, I think we've got the YouTube versions of the summary and the full episode that we did, so you can check those out or listen to the full episode in our podcast feed. Steve and Tom did a wonderful job covering everything, so thank you so much, guys. Make sure to hit them up online, tell them they did a great job as well, and go check out all the work. Next up here in the news, we have a little bit of information from Jurassic Outpost. Now, they recently uncovered some information about a Lost World animated series. So this all came from artist Philip J. Felix. Basically around the time of The Lost World, Steven Spielberg opted to do this animated series with DreamWorks. So it looks pretty wild. There's a lot of interesting stuff in here. Specifically, this dinosaur or whatever it is called the Doomsday Rex. This thing has 3 heads, I guess. It looks like a big blob monster. Or 2 head. I don't know what's going on here. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's some dude that looks like Buzz Lightyear. The raptors are attacking all kinds of stuff. It looks pretty awesome as far as some of the concepts are concerned. So, they're just basically just sketches and stuff like that as far as what they would plan for the show. There's also pteranodons attacking a biplane, so that looks really cool. But Jurassic Outpost did a great video on it and a big summary on their website. I will include all of that in the show notes. What do you guys think? Would you have loved a Lost World animated series? I probably would have. I think my almost peak for Jurassic, it's funny saying that right now, but was during the Lost World time, because they made so many awesome things back then. It really helped carry my fandom all the way to now. So I think The Lost World was amazing. It would have been awesome for an animated series. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear. So make sure to go check out that information in our show notes. So lastly here in the news, we wanted to talk about something decently big, something that made the rounds this past week. So Bryce Dallas Howard is out there covering, I believe it was Rocket Man, and, MTV News just came up and asked her some questions, and of course, stumbled upon a question for Jurassic World 3, and basically asked Bryce, if you were interested, would you be interested, I guess, in reprising your role alongside Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum? Would something like that be interesting to you? Would you be excited for that? And she basically is like, well, let's go ahead and play the clip.
They haven't officially confirmed, but we're going to see you with Sam and Laura and Jeff, presumably. Are you excited at the prospect of sharing some scenes with the OG Jurassic Park people?
Yes, very much. So if that happens, I don't know what's been confirmed or whatever, but I'll blink if it's happening, and maybe.
So yeah, that was probably better than me explaining it, but yeah, she's just like, if I blink a few times here, maybe that's happening, I don't know, and she blinked a bunch of times, so pretty much, I think, giving away the fact that we will be seeing the big 3, right? The big 3 that we all want to see together. It's kind of like our Luke, Leia, and Han just all together here in one movie again, especially with the new crew. I think that will be absolutely awesome. I wonder if it will be the same kind of style as Fallen Kingdom did with Jeff Goldblum, or will it be a little bit more? Hopefully, that'd be pretty awesome. I don't know. We'll see. But it's exciting to see that she's kind of like letting it slip here. She's just like, you guys know what's going on. I'm going to blink a few times and basically just tell you it's happening. So I'm just so excited for the day, hopefully sometime soon, that this information is just flat out said, 100% confirmed, this is happening. Hopefully we get that news pretty soon because Bryce Dallas Howard has been letting it slip all over the place. So I think they want to probably get ahead of it with some official press release, but who knows, that's to be foreseen. So let's keep an eye out, stay vigilant, and let's get excited.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Jurassic Mailbag.
Jurassic Mailbag never fails. It makes me wag my dino tails. I'm Brad and Jen, your Jurassic Mail.
It's Jurassic Mailbag with Brad Jost and Jennifer Terek.
Welcome back, everybody, to the comical, as always, obviously well rehearsed and what's that word I'm looking for? I don't know. Welcome to the mailbag for the month of June. This is it. I'm going with it. I'm sticking with this intro. We're going to start.
It started out okay.
I know, it started off okay, and then I forgot a word. And then I'm like, well, this is just a mailbag, so let's go with it.
Well, when you started it, just a minute ago, you're like, I have 7 coffees. And then you're like, hi, everyone. And it started out so good. And then it just, there we were.
It went downhill quick. But yeah.
Peaked early.
It did. Jen, how are you doing? How's June? This is Jurassic June. How's it going for you so far? It hasn't even started yet. How's it going?
It's going great. It's the best Jurassic June, actually. No, I think last Jurassic June I can't top. This one's fine.
Yeah. It's a big month, right? It's a big month for you, so there's a lot to be excited for.
Yeah, it's a month. It's a month that's happening. Things are happening. Getting married this month.
Oh man, that's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. Oh.
I can't. I'm not ready. I have so much stuff to do. I want to go back to the last Jurassic June. That was easier.
It was a good one, and we'll try to make this one better. We'll try to make this one even better. I don't know what we're doing. We got to do something to pump up the Jurassic crowd and get everybody excited. So why not, I guess, kick everything off with the Jurassic Mailbag. Everybody loves the mailbag, right? I think.
I would think that excites people.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and start off with an email here from Maria. This one says, I love dinosaurs.
Yeah.
That's it. That was the whole that was the whole thing.
I was waiting for you to read this long thing and I was going to be entertained. I'm like, we're starting with one that you have to read.
No, yeah. We're starting off. Imagine if I had messed that one up too, If I had really just messed up one of those 3 words, it would be in like true form, it would have been me. It would have been perfect. But I love dinosaurs too. So what about you, Jen? You love dinosaurs?
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I enjoy them greatly.
That's fair. I mean, that's what we're here for, to love dinosaurs. So, Maria, thank you very much for writing in to tell us about that. And we support you 100%.
She's in the right place.
Yes. Now, let's move over to a voicemail here from, well, in my notes, I wrote Michael. But as I said to Jen earlier before we started recording, my computer was really struggling, as I am. So I have no idea whose voicemails are whose. So let's just click on it. This is going to be like Russian roulette here. Let's see if this works.
Let's just click on it.
Hello, this is Michael Corelli.
Yes!
I have a question about the playset and vehicle offerings from Mattel. Mattel has had some issues bringing vehicles and playsets to the Jurassic World toy line. We've been told that they don't sell well or that stores claim they take too much room on shelves. Do you think Mattel has any intent on bringing them back? How would you like them to reintroduce them to the toy line? Do you think they should copy Hasbro's model with the Back the Barge project for Star Wars and apply that to the JP Visitor Center? Should they bring them back as online exclusives the way of Matty Collector? Or should they piecemeal them as playsets to combine into one big playset? For example, breaking up the Visitor Center kitchen in one set, the control room in the next, and the lobby with breakaway dino skeletons in the last set. Do you think that the consumer is to blame for their disappearance, or Mattel's distribution? The Lava Surge playset was blink and you miss it on Walmart all through last Christmas. I know myself and other collectors are looking to add these iconic set pieces to their Jurassic toy shelves.
All right. I kind of missed the beginning because I was too excited that the voicemail was actually Michael's. So let me listen to the beginning just real quick.
Hello, this is Michael Corelli, and I have a question about the
Hey, Michael.
sets and vehicle offerings from.
Okay, I wanted to confirm he said vehicles as well because I was losing it there.
Too.
Yeah. So the vehicles and the play sets for this new toy line from Mattel and everything. It's interesting because there hasn't really been a ton. There's been a decent amount of vehicles so far. We have one offering of the submarine, which has been really cool. That one is amazing, and I think that one gets overlooked quite a bit. And it was offered on its own. It was offered in a pack with the Indominus Rex, which I feel like by today's standard is considered a play set. Because it include the Indominus Rex skull or skeleton and a little mercenary guy and that submarine. Then we had the Gyrosphere escape vehicle. I have that one. That's pretty massive. That's a really cool vehicle. It's got some downfalls. We had like 2 separate Jeeps, I think. Some other stuff as well. So it hasn't been too bad as far as vehicles are concerned. I think we also got an ATV from Owen. So I'm kind of happy with that aspect of it. Of course, I would love to see more, like the Explorer. I think that is got to be the key seller for like round 2 when it comes to Jurassic World 3. Whenever they start to go full force on the new toys, new toys, because they're always releasing stuff. They're still going, but when that round goes, I feel like Explorer's got to be in there somewhere, right? Don't you think?
Well, we have a lot. I could be wrong. I'm not expert here, but I'm going to try really hard. Well, I remember when I was going to the store this last year or so, there was a lot of Explorers. Is that what we're talking? Like a lot of
the Jeeps, you mean, or
yeah.
Yeah,
no.
Jeep. There's been a lot of Jeeps. Yeah, there's been.
Oh, you mean the green one?
The green one, yeah, the tour vehicles.
Yeah.
Which
there's a couple, but not too many.
Yeah, we need. Yeah, there's like the small,
ones,
the Matchbox or whatever. Yeah. But as far as like the bigger Matchbox, because they are still considered Matchbox, some of those ones would be amazing, like a big scale, like we used to have in the Kenner days. That's got to happen at some point, I hope. So that's what I'm looking forward to there.
About those, you don't see those anywhere really.
Yeah, I feel like Mattel is kind of pacing themselves. So everybody's like, well, how come they're doing repaints? How come they're just re-releasing a lot of the same stuff? Why would you want to get rid of all of your content in one go? Like Mattel has to kind of hold back a little bit just to kind of release this stuff in waves, to save some key items for the next release, like the next big release. So I expect stuff like more legacy characters down the road, more Jeeps or more, vehicles and stuff like that. Of course, I think everybody would love to see a recreation of the RV from the Lost World. That would be amazing. The original RV toy is one of the coolest toys they've ever made. Kenner Hasbro days. So if they were to re-release that would be amazing. And that's like a play set as well too, because it's not just a vehicle; it's actually like a full set with opening doors that you can like create like essentially like a whole room there. And play sets have definitely gone by the wayside. Like you have that little lava flow bunker. I don't remember what it's called, but I passed on that thing. I didn't end up picking it up. It came with like the gooey lava.
I did see that. I almost took that just for the gooey lava.
I know it is kind of cool, and it seemed like it cleaned up nicely, but I didn't want to mess around with that and the toys and have to clean that up. And it came with Baryonyx, which I already had a Baryonyx at the time. I kind of wish I got that one as well because it is a variant on that original Baryonyx, but that's about it. I would love to see more playsets, and I've always joked that I want to see the Gennaro playset. So I want Donald Gennaro with the bathroom playset. That needs to happen. Mattel, please make that 100%. I think everybody would buy that. But Michael mentioned like the visitor center, the control room, whole, like all these different rooms. I think that would be cool if you did have like connecting features, so you could actually like utilize it as one big play set. You buy them all separately and then connect them all together. That would be really cool.
I really want that. I'm a fan of play sets, and whenever he mentioned that, I'm like, you're right. We don't really have that many of Jurassic. Maybe that's why I don't have a lot of toys. I don't know, but yeah, that the closest I can think of play set probably would be that volcano, which is why it was in my hands at one point. Like I almost didn't get that because it was the closest to an actual play set, and I think I do like those the most. And that idea of connecting the rooms and all of that sounds so cool. And
Yeah.
I guess the closest we ever get to that would be the Lego sets, but that's Lego version, like an actual. Even like in my mind, I think of like Polly Pocket, like it opens and then you have the whole inside. I mean, that'd be cool to carry a little visitor center around and open it like a suitcase. Then everything's kind of there.
That would be awesome. Those were the days, back when we were kids that like they had those little things, and I didn't have any Polly Pockets, but I had like the equivalents of whatever that is, in other, IPs. So like Ninja Turtles or, stuff like that. So it was always really cool. You could have these little miniature play sets that you'd opened up and there would be every scene that you'd want right there. That would be cool. And I think that's certainly an aspect that kids are missing out on today. Now it's all about the Imagine Next toys, which are very big. They do have little play sets and stuff, but they're so big and bulky and very stylized. They're not the same as they used to be.
I wonder if those big play sets that we had back in the day are like either too expensive to make or too detailed to make, or people just don't want to take the effort to make them. There's probably a reason like that why they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some marketing research going on about, it's not worth it to them. I don't know. Because you don't really see a ton of playsets through other brands as well. Like you see some Star Wars playsets here and there, but really not a ton. And they've been picking it up a bit recently. You see stuff like Jabba's sail barge, which is giant from the Return of the Jedi. And that's really cool. So stuff like that would be awesome. And I don't know. I don't have the numbers, but I feel like a lot of people really loved that set. And I don't know. It probably did well for him, I would assume. But I think Jurassic fans would come through and buy stuff like this as well. So hopefully someday soon we can get some of this stuff as well.
You could like recreate the entire movie just in play sets and connect them all. And like that would be so cool. I would do that.
Yeah.
That would be super cool.
Well, Michael, I wish I had an answer as far as why or what's going on, but I would love to see them as well. I think they need to make a comeback. So hopefully we get that chance in the future here, maybe with Jurassic World 3.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move on here to this is a website submission from Chance, and it says, hello, sorry if this is not the way to ask a question for the Jurassic Mailbag, but here it is. No, this is a way. This is perfect.
There's no wrong way to do it. It's fine.
It says, but here's my question. What are your pros and disappointments on the Fallen Kingdom Dino Rivals toy line? And what are your thoughts on JP3 Raptor being canceled and becoming the Lost World Raptor thing? Did you know Mattel is making a Dino Rivals Spino? So, Jen, did you know that?
Oh my goodness, this is so out of my wheelhouse.
Sorry. We knocked it out with like 2 toy questions here.
I had an opinion before. This one's like talking in Chinese. I don't know what that means.
Well, on the surface, do you see any disappointments with the Fallen Kingdom stuff or Dino Rivals stuff at all?
From what I see, and I see a lot of it because people post, and I know a lot of people are getting that in Dominus. I don't know if that's Dino Rivals or not, but it's like the next wave, that latest wave. And I do see it in stores. I mean, they all look the same to me. I don't know. They look the same as the other sets. All the dinosaurs look the same, so it's hard for me to judge. They look good.
Yeah, no, I think they're pretty great. I think majority of it is pros. Of course, there's some issues with paint jobs, and I don't know. I don't really care too much about issues. The only thing that I would really care about is if like an eye is not painted on the eye, or there's just like the other day, actually, that Raptor that he mentioned here, I saw it in stores for the first time. I got really excited, and then I took a closer look at it. I'm like, what is going on with this thing? The paint job's really weird. And then there's like scuff mark, like a black scuff mark on the lip. I'm like, I had to take a picture and message a bunch of people. I'm like, is this supposed to be like this? Because this looks weird. And then everybody's like, no, that's not what mine looks like. I'm like, all right, putting the thing back on the shelf. But so yeah, there's issues like that. But the quality control, they're doing I feel like a great job, but it seems to have gotten a little bit lesser here with the Dino Rivals stuff. But I know a lot of people are concerned that there's like a big drop off in quality now, but I don't think that's the case. I just think that they're taking different chances or risking, on certain paint jobs and going a different direction, because they did the very naturalistic looks and now they're doing some stuff that's like an experimentation. And I think, yes, some are hit and miss, but I think they're still pretty good toys, overall. So, I don't know. As far as disappointments, though, I just think it's like it just comes down to those little issues in the paint that make me mad sometimes. But everything that I've gotten for the most part has been pretty good, so I can't really complain too much. And then
I guess the big disappointment is no playsets in the new Dino
There you
Rivals
go. There you
line.
go. That's perfect tie-in, Jen. Where'd you get that idea?
I have no idea. Don't expect another one of those. That's it.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a valid disappointment because they were such a unique thing from the past. I can definitely see people being disappointed. It doesn't bother me all that much because right now I'm not utilizing that. I don't play with these really outside of just messing around with them in the videos that I make and stuff like that. And Lincoln, my son, is not old enough just yet for like play sets. When the time comes, it would be awesome if we had those, but just not yet. So, yeah, that could definitely be a disappointment. One thing that's really disappointing to me is the balance issues and the leg. What would you say? The legs on some of these items are very loose. So when you go to stand them up, they kind of just slide down ever so slowly and then just completely fall. And for me, the big issue is the Spinosaurus. The coveted item that was very difficult to get and people are still without. My Spinosaurus came with like the worst possible legs, and that thing does not ever want to stand up. And it's a real disappointment for me. I really want this awesome item, and it's fine. I can get it to stand, but like the Indominus Rex that I just got, you can mess around with that. You can play with it really hard and then just throw it right back down on the table and it stands perfectly. No leg issues at all. But that Spinosaurus has some issues, and I think it's due to they tried to do too much with these legs. There's like the motion of in and out, and there's also like the side, like the round the body, motion, and then also the feet swivel. So there's like a lot going on with the legs, and I think that kind of creates this like looseness sometimes where it just is a little bit too much. So yeah, that's definitely one of my biggest disappointments. And then that JP3 Raptor, that is a disappointment as well. I really wish we could have gotten that, but I guess like it didn't really look all that much like it. I don't think. But now there's like this, I don't know if you'd call it Lost World. It doesn't seem Lost World to me, but they re-released it with a new paint job, and it's fine. I think it's a decent paint job, but I don't know. It's a shame that things get canceled from time to time, but what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah. And then, did I know the Dino Rivals Spino is coming out? Yeah, there's a lot of rumors now that we're going to be seeing the battle damage Spinosaurus. So if it is battle damage, that'll be coming to Walmart. So that'll be really awesome to see. More people get the opportunity to get a Spinosaurus. So I am very excited about that.
Yep. Thrilled.
I don't even know if it was a rumor. I think was it even in the app? It might have been just like in the Dino or whatever it's called, the Jurassic Facts app. So while do I even know where that app is on my phone? Yeah, here it is. I am opening Jurassic World Dino Rivals Facts app thing here. I'm going to check on the status of the dinosaurs while I'm wasting time here talking. And I think it was in this app, if I'm remembering correctly. Let's see. Spino? I don't know. I don't see it. Nope, there it is. Yeah, I found it. Okay, so yeah, there is the Spinosaurus listed in there. So it's dark right now. You can't actually see it, but you can like light it up with a flare. So it's there, just waiting to be released, waiting for that paddock to open up. So yeah, we'll get it eventually, but we'll find out. We'll find out when. Hopefully it looks nice. That's all I'm waiting for. But yeah, let's move on here. So thank you, Chance. That was a great little discussion there. We have another email here from Richie. So it says, actually, this is Richie_JP29 on Twitter and Instagram. He says, I've been meaning to contact the podcast for a long time now. I thought it was about time. I just went ahead and did it. I was originally going to send you a voicemail, but I know how much you like reading emails out loud. Thanks, Richie, you know?
He listens.
Yeah, thanks, man. He says, first, I want to say thank you for everything you do in the online community and just how much I love the podcast, especially the mailbag. It's super entertaining. And Jen, I want to say thank you for letting me be a part of your BDH network team. I absolutely love...
He's my Facebook guy.
He says, I absolutely love looking after the Facebook page for you.
Okay.
I know the rest of the team feels the same way. You guys really deserve all the praise you get for what you do, blah, 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 and the sacrifices with the time. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of sacrifices, yeah. Continuing, it says, so I just finished listening to the latest mailbag, May. I found it really interesting, the conversation about how Claire would fit into the storyline in JW3. I do agree it does look like she's going to be more of a parenting role here for Maisie, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. This could be used nicely to give oh my God, I'm struggling here. This could be used nicely to give the fans what they want with the introduction of Biosyn. Let's see. How's he going to tie this all together? Continuing, we all know from the novel that they aren't the most ethical company around. With the whole trying to steal the embryos plot, maybe they find a way, or maybe they find out Maisie is a clone and try to do the same. This could give the opportunity to reintroduce a legacy character in a recast of Dodgson and tie Claire back into the storyline as a fiercely protective mother willing to do anything to get her back. We would get another side of her character we haven't seen before. I think it would be amazing to see Bryce Claire battling to save Maisie to bring Biosyn down. It could also potentially be a great opening scene too. Family day out with Claire, Owen, and Maisie, seeing undercover Biosyn operatives stalking and taking her. Not exactly sure how it would tie in with the dinosaurs being on the loose, but at least we get our Bryce fix and have Maisie in the plot. Thank you guys and keep up the good work. So you might want to rethink that good work thing because I can't read. So, but I do like that. I do like that idea actually. Like Maisie being taken. And Bryce is, straight up Liam Neeson over here and just trying to right. I will find you and I will kill you. And she says that to Biosyn on the phone and she tracks them all down, takes them down and, brings down the whole company. I could see that happening.
But then I don't hate it. I don't love it and I don't hate it. But like you said, where do the dinosaurs fall in this? Because this is getting rough. This is the problem we had last month with our how do we tie these people into Jurassic World 3 because it doesn't fit right anymore.
Yeah, there's so many things. Yeah, there's like all these different plots that you could do, and they all sound great on paper. But yeah, how do you connect all the dots? It seems like a lot to do.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot to do in 2 to 2.5 hours,
And still feel Jurassic because we are throwing a lot of random plots out there and a lot of cool ideas. But then we're like, wait a minute, where are the dinosaurs? Where does it bring back to the original idea of like control and human error and dinosaurs getting out of control and the whole thing? Like, where is that going to be?
Let me ask you this. So we hear all these rumors and we know stuff about Battle at Big Rock as, some sort of short here. It's, we got these Dino Rivals toys with the Pseudoceratops and the Allosaurus, as seen in Battle at Big Rock. What if, these little shorts or whatever they have planned is like your fix to find out more about these dinosaurs, and maybe they don't focus as much on the dinosaurs. Is that like a huge sin for Jurassic?
It's not too much for me as long as the theming is like the idea and the main theme of the Jurassic movies is still there, which is always like the power struggle, I always say, between people and their flaws and power and that and all that, like our power talk with Ellie and the whole power thing. So not to me, but to the world, I feel like it is. I feel like the world would not accept that very well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think so
they don't
either.
want dinosaurs that way. They want it on the screen all the time.
Yeah, so I think these potential shorts could like be a great way to balance out the equation and let you like find out some stuff here, but then, you know, like I was saying with Aaron in the Jurassic Wire last week, like it's kind of like, let's get this out of the way so we can focus on other things later on in Jurassic World 3. So that could be a way to tie things in. But yeah, I don't know. I do love this idea though of her being like, you know, somebody willing to sacrifice everything to track down Maisie. That's a pretty cool story, and maybe Owen can focus on the dinosaur aspect. So you're kind of going back and forth. You know, maybe while tracking down Maisie, she uncovers this dinosaur, you know, facility where they're doing all this stuff. So it could tie in some way.
Well, I think last time we talked more about her role would be like in politics. I think that was our main discussion, and I like that more. I like that more than her just being a mom, or because we kind of saw that side of Claire. The way that she's going is not the way I like, it seems, and if they're going to go this route, it's going more in the wrong direction for me, because I didn't like how in Fallen Kingdom she was a totally different character. She was more like quiet and just no in control, no power, no nothing, just like a accessory. And now in this one, if she's just the mom, like that's another side thing. And it's just no, I want her to have to be a valuable player in things, and her to have not collateral but like pull and be valued and have power over things, and people need her for something, and just to be a very important player in the power struggle. And if she's just protecting Maisie and just a mom protecting a kid, I've seen that before, and I don't want to see it from Claire. So that's where I am on that one.
Well, let me get your thoughts here. I have two questions for you from myself. You know, Bryce was recently on Good Morning America, right? It kind of like a cameo appearance with Laura Dern. So what do you make of that? Like, how did you feel when you saw them coming together there?
I basically exploded. It was the most wonderful moment of my life. Oh my goodness. I can't even function. That was the best video of all time. I don't know who illustrated that, whose idea that was. Genius. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
Bryce was fangirling all over the place. But
I was so excited too. I thought, like, I said the same thing. I was like, whose idea was this? Because this is awesome.
So smart.
So
gosh,
yeah, congrats to whoever did that.
It's what I always wanted, and I didn't know I wanted until it happened, and I was like, what? It's genius. Oh my goodness, she's like fangirling all over the floor. But it was so great. But I think as far as what they said and the reason they illustrated, I mean, that's basically confirmation that she's going to be in it. Like, they wouldn't do that, I don't think, or even tease that without some kind of background of assurance that we're not going to, because the fans at this point, I mean, this is a big exposure. Like, this video is kind of taken off everywhere because it's a big deal. I don't think they would release that or do that kind of thing unless they had something to back it up with, because a lot of people would probably get mad, or they'd be like, well, I saw this on Good Morning America, or my friend told me about this on Good Morning America. Like, well, why isn't she in the film? Like, I feel like they could get a big mess for themselves if they didn't follow through on it. So it's basically probably guaranteed at this point.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting maybe some more follow-up, but it didn't happen right away. So who knows? We'll keep our eyes out, see if anything pops up between now and in this recording and when this is released. So hopefully I'll have some more information for you. But yeah, that is interesting that they came together there and basically confirmed that, you know, Laura Dern's back, then these two could work together in the future. That would be awesome. Maybe they work together to go track down Maisie. I don't know. But let me ask you this other thing. Do you trust in Colin and Emily Carmichael right now?
Oh, man,
with Claire.
Question.
With Claire specifically.
That is a great question, because I loved Colin's Claire in Jurassic World, and I feel like Colin needs to direct Bryce to give me a Claire that I love, because I don't know if Bayona gave me the Claire that I love, and I don't know if it's all script or if it's some direction or if it's some of his choices. Like, that's hard to say. But all I have to go on is Colin gave me the Claire that I loved in the first one, and from what I heard and what he says and from his interpretation, I want to trust him. So I have to trust him. And Emily seems really capable and smart and good at what she does, and from what I could see, I mean, I don't really have, it's hard to go off of, I don't really have much to go off of, but I have to trust Colin's, this is odd, but I'm going to trust Colin's direction more than his writing, if that makes sense.
No, I think it makes sense, but yeah, hopefully the writing is
consistent.
Yeah, hopefully the writing's there too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm curious to see what Emily's going to do and what part she plays in this and how she's approaching it, but I have more faith in 3 than I probably should, but I'm just, it's in my mind that Colin wrote and directed the first one. He's writing and directing this one. He gave me what I wanted in the first one. Maybe there was a loss in translation in the middle in the second one. I don't know. It's hard to say because that just felt left field and weird. But this one, I have to trust that he knows where he's going, that he knew where he was going from the beginning. Because, I mean, we've heard that he had this one planned before.
Yeah.
Even early on, so, and he made the first one that way and the way he wanted, so he knew where we were going. So he made the first one knowing where he was going, and the middle was just kind of a moving point. So I have to believe that he's going to bring it back, and he's not going to give me Mom Claire. He's going to give me, and even if he does give me Mom Claire, okay, but it won't be her only purpose. Like, she'll have some holdover people, and she'll be valuable, and people will not fear her, but like respect her a lot, and she'll have like an important key that everyone would need, or someone would need, and she won't just be an accessory, or she won't just be a mom.
I like that most of your monologue right there could be thrown into like a Star Wars podcast and it would be just as relevant. And it's so funny because you're not like really a fan at all, but like it's that same conversation of like J.J. Abrams did the first, the Force Awakens, and then a lot of people think like the second movie went astray, and then JJ's coming back to redo everything and to maybe center it again, so it gets that focus. So that seems to be like the same thing here is for you at least. It's like, we got to refine that focus of this character and figure out who she really is, because we've got two wildly different variations of that character. So I'm excited to see. Like, this is such an exciting time because we have no idea. Like, we've got a vague sense of like dinosaurs are loose, and that's it. Like, we don't really know what they're going to do. So it's exciting. It's really exciting. We've
mentioned this before. Whenever the first one ended, we didn't know what they were going to do, and then they come up with this volcano, and everyone's like, "What?" It's not even, that wasn't even on anyone's radar. So they can really do anything.
Yeah.
But man, I hope they bring it back to the original Claire. Come on. No wishy-washy, dumb, not thinking things through and running all the time and just an accessory. I need her to have some kind of control, or not control, but some kind of reasoning for things happening. Because I think we talked before how in Fallen Kingdom they were just there as things were happening, but in Jurassic World, everything they did had consequences, and it's because what choices that they made. Their choices in Fallen Kingdom weren't as vital as in Jurassic World. So I'm hoping we come back to that, and I'm hoping that she holds some kind of importance more than in Fallen Kingdom. She didn't have any importance. The only thing she had was that protection group, and it fell apart. So,
well, thank you, Richie, for that conversation there. Keep up the great work over at BDH Network, and thanks for the kind words, dude. So we really appreciate it. But let's move over here. I have in my notes here a voicemail from an unknown person. So let's see if we can find that unknown person from an unnamed voicemail MP3. All right, I'm choosing this one. If I get this right, that would be amazing.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Hello, I was wondering.
I think I got it.
What do you guys think of all the new Jurassic World ride stuff, like the sign and all that stuff? And if you guys know about the new Spinosaurus Dino Rival toy that's coming out.
Hey!
Bye.
Wow, we're keeping the theme going. Let's that Dino Rivals toy. Yeah, hey man, we know about it. We know all about it. We figured it out. It's in the app. We figured it all out here on the spot. I'm excited for it. But Jen, I talked a lot with Aaron last week about all the theme park stuff. So at least all the theme park stuff according to Hollywood. So there's been a ton of changes and a lot of things popping up recently. You have any idea what's going on over there?
All I know is I'm peeing my pants because Bryce is doing the ride video. That was so exciting. That was the best news I could have heard ever. Because I remember the rumors were swirling. I remember when she cut her hair and colored it. And I'm like, what is she doing? And we were like, well, maybe she's just doing that. And some people were like, no, that's exactly the color. What is she doing? Because she hasn't. Fun fact, she has not colored her hair since Jurassic World. Since Gold, because she did it blonde. She colored it in Jurassic World, then she colored it blonde and gold, and she hasn't colored it since. She stopped coloring her hair. But recently, like 3 months ago, she colored it, obviously. So it's like, why is she coloring it all of a sudden? And then she cuts it, and this whole thing's happening. And the internet was like, what? And then they thought it was that Battle of Big Rock thing. And I was like, it gotta be a ride video. If it's a ride video, I'm gonna die. And then it was announced. I was so excited. I'm still so excited that people are gonna see her and people are gonna go to the ride and kids are gonna be like, yay. Or maybe not. I will be like, but the question, what was the question? Sorry,
let's keep going on that, because that's something we've been talking about here for quite a while. I feel like now, with all the rumors surrounding like the cast and stuff, and we heard rumors about BD Wong, and then Bryce showed up with all the there was some picture that was released, I remember, and I saw it and I was like, she looks very Claire right there. What's going on? And
I made a hair timeline for folks who are curious to know exactly when she filmed this. Mid-April, I would say, is my guess. Mid to late April is my guess. I think BD Wong did it the end of March. And
something like that.
I'm about 99% sure she did not do it at the same time as he did. She had too much going on.
I think it was a little bit different. But she would obviously have to color her hair back to the Jurassic World days just to kind of, set the tone of like, this is set during the active park, when things were going okay. So it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense there. And then actually I was following Chris Pratt on, something, and I saw like he's growing his facial hair back, but like it's very tough because Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy and Owen in Jurassic World are very close in their style. So I was like, it could be either of those. I don't really know what's going on, but I was guessing myself that he was growing it back out a certain way for the ride, and that seems to be true. So it's funny how they're all coming back and redoing these scenes. Do you think how do you think Owen factors into the ride?
Unfortunately, probably a lot, just because he's popular. Which ride? This is a water one. I don't know how either factor in exactly, because I've been actually trying to stay away from spoilers for the ride. I mean, I've seen some pictures here and there, and I kind of have an idea of what it is, but I'm trying to stay away from the story and any specifics, because I do want to be surprised when I ride it. I don't want to be completely spoiled as much as possible. I'm trying to avoid that. So I don't really know if the story has been announced or if they've said like if there's a story for the land that they're opening. Like, I don't really know. I'm trying to avoid that for now. But I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, is this the pre-show video, or is this like the little video that goes above the line?
Yeah, well, that's kind of one and the same. At least if they're not changing the structure out or anything, I don't think we're going to see like a true pre-show. But I would expect the line videos, the Q videos. They're
replacing the Hammond video then?
Oh, 100%. I mean, you can't keep that.
With this one.
Yeah, you can't keep that video. But it would make sense to have Claire just kind of maybe walking around a lab or something, just explaining what this ride is or what Jurassic World is, and then BD Wong talking about the dinosaurs and what, hybrids he has and all this stuff. And I speculate that Owen is like, he's going to be the safety guy. He's like, make sure you wear your seat. And I don't think there's seatbelts, but like, make sure you hold on tight and keep your cameras inside the ride and, hold on because you don't want to fall out or something, something
like
stupid.
That. Oh my gosh, I like that a lot. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean,
she'll be telling you all the dinosaurs you're going to see. I guess, is it like a tour And then something goes wrong, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be the same ride, but with Jurassic World. So
yeah,
there's not much spoilers there, but outside of like what the scenes have been changed to, but it's the same structure and everything that, was there before. So you can expect a lot from that, I guess. But I could potentially see Owen in the ride a little bit here and there. But specifically like that image that they released of Owen and Claire running from the Indominus paddock, it's like an interesting mock-up. So who knows if that factors in somehow? I don't know, but could be interesting.
And fun fact, we know that she's not wearing her Jurassic World clothes. She's wearing a red skirt, and I don't know what else, but a red skirt. So it's different outfit, different day. Which weird, because how does that fall into the Jurassic World story? Like, are you visiting in the park on a normal day, like another day that isn't canon? I don't know how it's gonna fall.
The thing about the canon of this is just it's gonna be a mess no matter what, because, do you know like the dinosaurs that are in this ride, or the creatures?
Yeah, I know some. Like I know they kept a couple. I know the Mosasaurus is in there. I know the Indominus is in there.
Okay, so like the Indominus and is going to be doing what it did in the movie, right? Like it's breaking out at this time, but it's going to be doing it in a different fashion. So it's not really like the same way that it happened in the movie. So it's kind of like jumbled canon in a way. Like it's following a very similar path, but yeah, if she's wearing that red skirt or whatever that she teased on Instagram or wherever, it's not going to be the day, right? Like she would have to be in the same clothes that she wore in the movie if it was the same day. So it's kind of weird. I mean, this could be a video that was just filmed, like over time, and it's not necessarily like a live feed, I guess you could say. Like it's just a pre-recorded thing that could be played on any day. So
like that's the main attraction for me. Like the ride's cool, but I'm so excited for that video because I get to see my Claire again, my Jurassic World Claire again. Oh my gosh. And it's probably, it's not long or anything probably, but it's so cool. I'm so excited to get something like that. I'm so excited they're including her. They could have totally not. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Or they could have just had a regular lady, like how they did at the exhibition. They could have just had like a regular random person, like an employee or something. But for them to go out and do all this, that's so good. That's such a great step. They could have done it the easy way, but they're doing it. They're putting some care into it here. So that's a really good sign for me.
Let me ask you this. So one thing that I have a big question about is the audio on the ride, because when you're in the ride on Jurassic Park River Adventure or the ride, you hear like the voice of Richard Kiley, and he's like explaining, welcome to Jurassic Park, and he says all that stuff. Like, is there going to be somebody doing that? Like, can you see one of these three people doing it, or do you think like Jimmy Fallon's going to come in and do the audio?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, I feel like Jimmy Fallon would have to do it, but who knows at this point?
I think people wouldn't like that, but it makes sense. It'd be funny, but I don't think people would really like it or get it. But because Jimmy Fallon does the tour ride at Universal.
Does he? I've never been on that, so
I think he does the tram ride.
He also has his own ride in Orlando too. So,
oh, sorry, we're talking over each other.
Yeah,
people
sorry.
are probably annoyed by us.
Oh well. Go ahead.
Oh man, so. Yeah, that would be fun if they did Jimmy Fallon, I guess. Like, that would be fun, but oh man, I can't handle a ride that has Bryce in the video and then talking to me through the whole thing. I can't handle that ride. I would die. Like, I would need days to process that. Like, my people don't get things like this. Like, they don't. They're overlooked and underappreciated, but now that she might be in, oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
this is my highlight. This is my Barbie. This is like my, remember the toys? My main focus was the Barbie and the book. Yeah. This is my Barbie this year. I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, thank you, unknown caller there. Let's move on to an MP3 from Jurassic Dave. And this one is titled. Thank you, Dave, for titling this so I didn't have to do it. So I know where it is. Let's take a listen.
Hey, Brad and Jen. It's Jurassic Dave 93. How you guys doing?
Good.
I'm so glad you guys are back out of hiatus, and I get to hear you in my earbuds first week of the month. I'm working hard out there.
Wow.
My question today is about the Jurassic license. Do you think that Universal is being a good steward to the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World license? I guess where I'm getting at with this is, hate to do it, but Jurassic a lot of times is maybe considered a younger sibling to some of the considered greater franchises out there right now, like Star Wars or Marvel. And, you know, along with the movies and the films and everything that goes with it, you look at the things that come alongside of it. I'm talking toys, books, comic books, television series. And you look over there at Star Wars and Marvel, and of course, you know, comics, books, toys, doing a great job over there. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I really think Universal did a great course correction and did a good thing by getting the toy license over there to Mattel. But when it comes to maybe books and comic books, I know we've gotten the one Claire novel so far, and to my knowledge, we haven't gotten a lot of the comic books in quite a few years for Jurassic. And of course, the theme parks, which you guys are experts in, can't help but look over at something like Galaxy's Edge and wonder what could be for Jurassic and Universal, and some of the things you've been saying about the Jurassic World ride maybe sound a little troubling to some of us out there at the moment. But yeah, I'm quite interested in getting your guys' opinion. Is Universal doing the right thing by Jurassic? Are they being good stewards to the license? And are they doing everything that they possibly could to make the franchise as great as it can be? Thanks a lot, guys. I really love listening to the show, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
So
no, they're not.
Thank you. You just hit it right on the head. Dave was
all right. Next question. No.
Dave was worried. He followed up with another email, like worried that maybe this would be a little bit too negative. And no, I don't think so, because you said no straight off the bat that they're not doing enough, and I agree.
We're honest. We like honesty here.
Yeah, I know everybody thinks that like we're just super positive about everything when we, you know, a lot of times we are, but I like to focus on the things that they're not doing correctly, like using the license. Like they're just starting to utilize it right now, it feels like, right? Like, doesn't it feel like they're just getting the engines going? You know, we got a book, now we're getting a ride, which is just like a retheme though, so it's really not 100% all in. It's a retheme and some new elements, but like, you know, we're not going all out like we could with the comics that were almost promised to us like a little whiles back. Like, we've been expecting IDW comics for years now, and they just never happened.
You know, I will never forgive them, and they haven't even done this yet, but I know they're not going to. I will never forgive them for taking the Jurassic World land out of their new park in Orlando, their fourth gate or third gate, whatever one you want to call it. But their Fantastic Worlds land or whatever, their new park. Taking Jurassic World out of that and cutting it, I can't forgive them for that. And then putting that terrible roller coaster in front of the beautiful visitor center, I can't forgive them for that. Like, they're trashing it. I don't know. And then I can't forgive them for building the Harry Potter castle on their expansion pad. I can't forgive them for putting King Kong on the other side, where that clearly should have been a Jurassic World ride. So they're making too many mistakes for me to ever give them a pass. Like, I want to trust them and be like, yes, they're finally doing something. And Mattel's doing a great job, but that's not Universal though. But like, I want to be like, yeah, you're doing with this. I was just praising the ride, the Hollywood Video. I was just praising that ride up and down, but still, I can't forgive them for the billions of mistakes. They take one step forward and a trillion back. It's like, what's their park? Is it the Shanghai park or one of those foreign ones where they're putting a Jurassic World land? I guess they did that parade. Beijing.
Oh no. Well, the parade is in just Japan, so I think it's just Universal Studios Japan.
That's right. But I get Disney and Universal parks out there confused. Like, I don't know who has the Tokyo. I don't know who has the Hong Kong apps. But,
Tokyo is Disneyland, Universal Japan, Universal Singapore, I believe. They're building Universal Beijing, which is, you know, in the process of being built and all that. So there is a full Jurassic World there. So that will be awesome. That I've seen some concepts and I've seen a lot of stuff out of that. It seems exactly what we want here in the States, but it's going over there first. So what's the deal? Like, why are we not getting it? Why is Fantastic Worlds not getting it? That makes zero sense to me, and it's very, very frustrating. Like you said, it's a waste of the IP to not go there, to not utilize it. Now, this is rumors and speculation, of course. We don't officially know that it won't be there. It's just heavy rumors that it's not included. So that's sad.
It's mistakes like that and oversights like that I can't give them a pass on. They make too many mistakes, at least stateside. They make too many mistakes. And like I said, one step forward and a billion steps back. I mean, I look at what they're doing, and I don't know if they're ever going to convert our Orlando River Adventure into Jurassic World. But if they ever do,
yes,
when that's going to be such a mess. Like, what theming?
Well,
what on earth do they even have there?
Well, here's the thing. We mentioned it last week that the permits for the roller coaster have been released, and it was like an end date for that project as of April 2021. So that's going to open up, that ride should open up, just before the movie comes out, a few months before, building the anticipation for the movie. And this is a bit of an extended schedule. So at this point, you should expect, to be honest, like they might just do the whole land prep in that time and make it all Jurassic World. So it's coming. Like I have no doubt that will be all Jurassic by 2021. Especially because that ride, the River Adventure, took in Hollywood, the Jurassic Park, the ride took only 6 months or so to fully transition over to this ride for the most part.
This is why they need to put it in Jurassic World in the Fantastic Worlds park, because Jurassic Park in Islands Adventure is so iconic and loved and treasured, and to just rip it out and put Jurassic World overlay when they have a brand new park they're building from scratch, and this is their top IP. I mean, this performs up there with Star Wars and up there with Marvel. Like, it's up there, and it's Universal's only true IP that's performing like that. I mean, they don't know how to handle their own IP because they have Harry Potter, but they don't own that, and they don't know what to do with an IP that they actually own. It seems like they're just mishandling it so bad. And they're like 3 steps behind. Everything's moving, and they're always trying to catch up with Jurassic.
Yeah, I think
so. No, they're not handling it well.
I think we're pretty good as far as fans are concerned with letting Universal know that we're kind of, tired of the missteps and the underutilization. So, keep doing it. Keep letting them know, because at least do it in a very respectful way. Don't be trashing them or anything, but just make it aware. Make yourself heard that you're not getting what you want. You can at least get yourself heard to hopefully make change in terms of content and stuff like that. We want to see more. There's certainly, a shortcoming for Jurassic World, which is great. We've got TV shows or, things coming on the horizon for Netflix and whatnot. So they're going in the right direction. It's just we hope that they go all out, which they haven't done so far. They've kind of said oh yeah, we're doing things, but it's not the full thing that you want. It's not the whole thing.
It's like they can't trust it. Like, they can't fully believe in it.
No, they don't.
Yet the numbers and the products and the merchandise and everything else doesn't lie, but yet they can't fully trust their own IP for some reason. They can't just invest everything into that and trust that it will do well. That's evident that they can't even trust it to put it in a new put a new land in the new park. And they have to just overlay everything. And when they did that, that was it for me. That was when I lost it. I lost faith in them. I'm like, you can't. That was a perfect opportunity. You have new land, you have all this stuff, and you're not going to put your number one franchise, which is making billions of dollars and holding records and all this stuff, in the new land. That just is the biggest mistake. And I don't know if they can recover that for me. That's a big one. That's really stupid.
Yeah, and the sad state of affairs is that not everybody is even on board with the films. So, you got to start there. But, I personally love the films. I love both of these films. I have, there's minor issues with them for me. But I know a lot of people have major issues with them. So, and you're kind of confused about, what's going on with Claire. So, there's issues in the films that people can't even get past and don't think that Universal is using it correctly. So of course they're going to, branch out and not use everything else correctly. So video games, I think, have Jurassic World Evolution has been a great video game. I think people also say that it needs more, and we want more in terms of other video games. And I think this is being greedy for us to want these things? No, I don't think so. I think we're within our rights to say, like, where's our content? We have money, guys. We have this money here. What should we do with it? Oh, let's use it for something else. Sorry, Universal, you don't get it. But if you did make these things, we would give you all these monies. So I have many monies in my hands right now. You can have all these monies, but no, not today.
Right, exactly.
But that's the problem.
They're gonna get some of my monies though in Hollywood. I'll give them that. But they will
get
the rest of my monies.
They will get a lot of monies, and then those monies will be used for Orlando monies, and then we'll all give monies there. So there will be money spread, but it's that mentality, like, you're just, like, I hate to say it, but like, you're just doing a layover of an attraction, and you're just painting things. So let's not treat this as if it's like the biggest deal in the world. It is a layover. Like, that's plain and simple what it is. Yes, there's some highly themed new elements and some really great looking stuff, but it is just the same ride. So I know for a fact people are going to go to that park, get in line, and be like, wait, this is the same ride. What's happening? It will 100% confuse people. Guaranteed. So you see that a lot with theme park goers, that like they just redo a ride and like retheme it, and people are like, "Oh, I thought a new ride was coming. I didn't think it was the same ride."
That's what's the most disappointing by far. I get it that they have to do that in Hollywood, but they don't have to do that in Orlando. They don't have to do an overlay in Orlando. They really, really, really don't, and they're choosing to do it for whatever reason. I don't know, money, interest. I have no idea, but for some reason they're choosing to do just an overlay when they do not have to. And the fact that they're choosing to do that totally takes out any confidence I have in them for anything Jurassic in the parks. Absolutely. So even with the Bryce video, even with them getting the cast to do the video, it's still not putting them in that new park and ripping out the old attractions instead and putting the terrible roller coaster in front of the beautiful visitor center. I am just lost. They lost me. That's unforgivable in my book. Maybe I'm harsh, but that's really hard to take all that.
To be honest, they should have followed up the evolution of Claire with another book. It doesn't have to be Claire-centric, but it could have been any character. They should have followed that up much quicker, and we haven't gotten anything. We've gotten no word about any follow-ups here. So there should have been like, a 3 or 4 month gap, and then they release another one. And then 3 or 4 months, they release another one. Star Wars does this all the time. They release books like every month, every few months, however often, and I read them all. Like, so I buy them all. So do it, Universal.
I think the book was well received. Like, I mean, it was a clear focus, but it was, people seem to like it. Even people who don't really care much for the character, they liked the Jurassic lore in there, the introduction of other characters, the throwbacks to back in the time. Like, I feel like it went over well with people. So there's really no excuse for them not to do it.
I agree. So we beat that dead horse there. So Universal, step it up a little bit. Jurassic Dave, thank you for that question, and don't worry about being negative when it's asked for, when it's needed, because it is needed. We need to talk about these issues and where things are not being done correctly. So let's step it up. Let's get these things done. We can't handle it all. So we can only do one episode a week, maybe more, but that's it for now. Let's move over here to an email from Adam, and it says, "Hey, Brad and Jen, hope you're both well. Great to have you back. We're glad to be back. We're now in the long purgatorial stretch between Jurassic movies."
I love that description.
Yeah. And even though we've got some great things going on elsewhere through ride updates, live tour. Hey, we didn't mention that before. Live tour. That's a good addition, I think.
Oh, of course.
toy releases, Evolution DLCs, and obviously all the great work that you're doing. Like I said, we can't do it all. So he says, I can't help but yearn for Jurassic World 3. And this is a long email, Adam. Thank you. I've been thinking about the direction of this new movie and where it could take us, and how they could include existing characters within this new chapter. And I'm stumped as to how it makes sense for them to be a part of this. I agree. The dinosaurs only have screen time when they're interacting with human characters. Once the people either die or escape, we, the viewer, then stop following the dinosaur and cut away, usually with a roar, to more humans. I, for one, would love to see the camera follow the dinosaurs themselves, so we could see a section or sections of the movie with are told through the dinosaur's perspective. I believe this could provide the viewer with an interesting take on a Jurassic movie. For example, in the original Jurassic Park, wouldn't you be interested in seeing what Rexy did between the breakout scene and the raptor takeout at the climax? I know by doing this, it will limit the character screen time and overall dialogue and storytelling, but in my opinion, it's a good opportunity to showcase some awesome shots, as well as some more dinosaurs. That could also be a force for a simpler narrative and also allow for an easier conclusion. Imagine following Blue or Rexy as they navigate through a new world, seeing extended shots of how they react to isolation or a population of animals, humans, dinosaurs, etc., to see them more as more than a prop or a set piece, and to get to know them more as characters before we say goodbye. So that's it. That was a great email there. I love that idea about seeing more from the dinosaurs. He's absolutely right. Like, we don't really follow the dinosaurs all that much. There's maybe a few instances where we follow a dinosaur, I think. I'm kind of even struggling to think of those moments. But it is always surrounded by humans and their interactions with the dinosaurs, at least their viewpoint or what they're doing. So, Jen, do you want to see more like dinosaurs specific scenes where we just follow the dinosaurs?
I would like to. I definitely see this point for sure, but I don't know how they would do that because they don't talk, and it would have to be just. I mean, people might find that really interesting, just watching them interact, or just move around and stuff. But I don't know how you can really move the story along with something like that. It would have to be a really specifically written moment of it. I don't think it's just you can just casually follow them around. But I do agree that the fact that the dinosaurs are only there when they're related to the people, and you cut away from the dinosaurs and you go to more people. But that's kind of what, for me, this is totally me, but I like that about Jurassic, because I keep saying that my favorite thing about Jurassic is the flawed human and how people handle power that they have and the mistakes they make and the consequences that come after. That's very interesting to me. But with dinosaurs, it like ups it, and it's just even better with dinosaurs. Anything is better with dinosaurs. But I don't know how you would take the humans out, or the human part out, and just focus on the dinosaurs. I don't even know how that would look. Do you have any ideas on how that would look?
Well, just following them around? Yeah,
like how would that be, and move the story? Like, would that be interesting?
I don't know if it would necessarily move the story per se. I think it would be awesome. I actually just wrote up a tweet like before recording this earlier today. I think it was today. Somebody in the I forget who it was, in like the Godzilla camp said like, wouldn't you love to see like a documentary follow the monsters of Godzilla with David Attenborough like kind of doing his voiceover like he does in all these like, Planet Earth
the
things.
Keyword, because documentary was kind of like on the tip of my tongue though, and I'm like, then it would turn into a documentary. Yeah. That's what I thought about. Yeah,
I would love to see that, though. I would love to see, like, I don't even know, maybe a whole film. But, like, I would love to see them follow along with the dinosaur. And even if it was narrated by, David Attenborough, which would be an amazing tie into the Jurassic franchise with his brother, Richard. So I think that would be amazing to have something like that. But in terms of just like scenes and stuff, I would be 100% open to that. But I think it would have to be like a random scene in the middle, or like the beginning of the film would be perfect. You know, if you were to follow Blue or whoever, just for like 6 minutes, you know, like, and just what she's been up to or what specific dinosaurs have been up to, and then you introduce the humans again, I think that would be awesome. You know, it doesn't have to center around humans. You could just see what these dinosaurs are doing. And in a movie where potentially dinosaurs are roaming all over, this could be the opportunity.
I definitely like that in theory a lot. But I mean, I would just have to come down to execution and how they would do that and where it falls and everything. But in theory, though, and the idea of that, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And it is missing. It's missed, yeah.
The execution is interesting because, like, yeah, it has to move the story. If it's outside of like the very beginning of the movie, it has to really push the story in some sense. And I don't really see that type of interaction really pushing the story all that much, unless it's like you need to get a dinosaur from here to there for a specific reason, I guess. But yeah, I don't know if it really makes all that much sense to do and to waste time on, unfortunately. And yeah, you're right. Jurassic is all about the humans, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And from the camera's point of view, it's all about the humans' perspective on these creatures and what they think and how they're viewed. Not necessarily how the dinosaurs are real and all that stuff. It's about how the humans see them and interact with them. So that's why this movie franchise is interesting, I think, because it is that human perspective. So yeah. it would kind of change the fundamental, work of Jurassic. It would be something completely different.
It would be a monster movie, because I know we talk about that idea a lot and people mention it and people call it a monster movie. And I always say it's the people and the human flaws and the human power and the power struggles and that whole view out from people, that the people characters, that makes it not a monster movie. But if it followed the dinosaurs more so, I guess that way it would turn into one of those monster movie categories, because Jurassic does fall in a weird in-between category. It can kind of fall either way sometimes.
And there was a great scene, I think, in the latest Kong movie, Skull Island. See, now that's a series that I mix up the attraction and the movie because they're both very similar. One is Kong, Reign of Skull Island, Kong, Reign of... I can't even think of it right now. And one of them is Kong, Skull Island. I think the movie is Kong, Skull Island, and the other one is Skull Island, Reign of Kong, I think, the ride. So in the movie, there is like a decent little scene where you kind of view Kong through like that almost documentary style. So I like that. So it could find a place in a Jurassic movie. Let's hope they utilize it in some sense, but not just too overtly where it doesn't make any sense for the story.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, but let's move on here to... thank you. Actually, I have an email. I guess this is a Twitter handle for Adam. It says @ArtByAds, ADS. So go follow Adam there. But let's move on here to an MP3 from Corey. Now, do I have this one titled? No. All right. Let's think. I think it's this one.
Hey, Brad and Jen, it's your friend Corey here.
Yes.
First off, happy Jurassic June. Hey. I know we've all been looking forward to this month for quite a while. Second, so glad the podcast is back, especially Mailbag. You know, so many fun things come from this segment. I'm so happy it's back, so happy the whole podcast is back, and I'm going to be listening every episode. My question this month, I think, is kind of a simple one. Famous last words, I guess. But what's your favorite detail from any of the Jurassic movies that you didn't necessarily catch your first couple times watching, that's been pointed out to you later, that's really stuck with you? So for mine, an example is, so in the first Jurassic Park movie, when the explorers first pull up to the Tyrannosaur paddock and Grant, Sattler, and Malcolm are kind of shifting around in the Explorer to kind of get a better view at the window, and Grant and Malcolm just ever so lightly, ever so tenderly, just kind of put their hands on top of each other, and neither actor really reacts to it, but Malcolm just kind of moves his hand a second later. I crack up every time I see that now. It's so funny to me. Such a little fun flub in the movie that it's just hilarious to me watching it. And I love seeing that little detail every time I watch Jurassic Park. So that's mine. What's your favorite little detail like that? Doesn't have to be important, or maybe it does. Just whatever kind of sticks out in your mind is something that you didn't really catch on your own. Happy Jurassic June, guys. Love the podcast. Keep doing what you do, and see you next time. Bye, guys.
Awesome.
Oh, he has the coolest voice.
Yeah, that is a good voice. I think it's very good. I'm trying to match it and sound as cool, but it doesn't work.
You have to sound Southern, though.
Yeah. I don't think I could do that. So, do you have a good scene? Something that stands out to you? Because I think I got some, so I want to hear yours, though.
I think we've had this question before. I remember.
Come on, Corey. Listen.
It's been a while. It's been a long time. It's been like maybe actually it might have not been asked, but we went there anyway. So
it's possible.
But this was a long time ago, like a couple years ago, and I think I know yours because you mentioned it that years later you realized it, and I can't remember what I said, and I can't remember what mine is. But I think this is where the squeezy toy came from. I think that was a tangent.
It might have been a tangent off of that. I had mentioned specifically like a funny little thing that I had never noticed was, or how do I want to put this? Like, John Hammond is sitting there in the control room, and he's like, the voice you are hearing is Richard Kiley. We spared no expense. And then it cuts to the interior of the vehicle, and you hear Richard Kiley's voice. So in my mind, I always assumed that John Hammond was using a speech manipulator that made him sound like Richard Kiley. So he had to sit there for the entirety of every tour that went through the park and do the entire spiel. Like, you're about to see a Dilophosaurus. We spared no expense, or whatever. Like he just says these things the entire ride. And that just blew my mind when I finally realized, no, he just introduced the Richard Kiley clip. And then Richard Kiley, like the recording took over and, showcased what dinosaurs you'd see. So it was like this stupid thing that I was like, I don't know why I thought that. And I think it's because of that cut from the control room to the interior, and now we hear Richard Kiley. I kind of just assumed there was some weird voice changer going on, which is a very strange thing to assume. But I
do remember that.
That was an odd one that I considered, and I wanted a new one here today. So one of the funniest things that like is so comical to me now that I notice it is when in the Lost World when the InGen choppers show up. And, Hammond sent two teams. You see Ian Malcolm pick up a pair of binoculars, and he puts them up to his head the wrong way. He puts them up the opposite way and looks through them, and then you see the interior shot of the binocular looking like very zoomed in on the helicopters. So it's a hilarious detail, and I can't help but laugh at it. It's so stupid, but that's another one to add to that list.
I don't remember what I said the last time I answered this question, so I'm going to go with a new one, which actually is relatively new. Like, I just noticed it maybe within the last year, universally, I think. Maybe I could be wrong, but kind of universally, is the drastic change from daylight to night in a lot of these movies. There's no evening. There's no sunsets. It just goes from day to night, because especially in Jurassic World, when it's like, wow, a whole day happened in between here, and we miss it because one shot it's broad daylight, and the next shot it's pure night, and it's like, wait a sec, something had to have happened. They didn't sit around and wait all day for it to be night. Like, why do that at night anyway when you could see better in the day? And it's just, I don't know. I know it's for movie effect, but logically I'm like, wait a second, why is it daylight and then night shift, oh my gosh, nighttime in the very next scene? I think Jurassic Park does that too. Doesn't it get dark like really fast? And do the other movies do that as well?
It's all very plot driven. It's like, hey, we got to do this cool scene, like the T-Rex breakout, so let's make it nighttime. Like a storm just rolled in, so they're going to be sitting there for very many hours, I guess, and now it's nighttime.
It just happens so quickly.
And Jurassic World does it too. I think at some point it's like, oh, we got to do this awesome like night vision raptor takedown with the Indominus Rex around the corner. Like, we got to do that scene, so let's make it nighttime. So they're chasing, the raptors through the woods at night. So,
but story-wise, you would think, why don't they hurry up and do it before it gets dark?
You would think, like in world, yeah.
It just jumps. Because I noticed that whenever I was making my Jurassic World caps when the 4K came out, and I was capping, I'm like, whoa, that is a drastic. I'm like, did I miss something? That is a drastic time difference between broad daylight to pure night, and that's something I never really noticed. I just kind of go with it, and then that's like now I can't unsee it. Now I only see the drastic change all the time now.
Yeah, that is a pretty comical one. But yeah, it's all like basically just plot driven. Like, what can we do? What do we need to do? How do we move these characters along? But yeah, what happened in all those like in between moments? I want to see that stuff.
Me too.
So yeah, so let's we have an MP3 from Arjun. So do I have that? Oh no, do I even have that one? I think I do. Yeah, I do. Here it is. Let's take a listen. Maybe.
Hey Brad, hey Jim.
There it is.
Hope you're doing well. I was wondering about the following. With all the rumors on Battle at Big Rock and this new dinosaur, the Nasutoceratops, where did this dinosaur come from? Do you think they'll explain it at some point? Of course, with the earlier news on Outpost, we learned that the Stegoceratops would have been a cross mix between the Stegosaurus and not the Triceratops, but the Nasutoceratops, so InGen had its DNA. But we've never seen this dinosaur before, as small as the containments were on Lockwood Manor and on Moolar. So what do you guys think of this?
Oh, okay. Go.
I had the same thought, and I know nothing about any of this. But when I saw the toy, I did see the toy. I was at Target, I think, the other day, and like the only one they had on the shelf was that Sinoceratops, however you say it. And I thought to myself, oh, where did he come from? Like, how does that going to fall in the story? So I have this exact same question. Brad, tell me the answer.
Okay, well, first off, you would have had to have been at Walmart, and it's a Nasutoceratops, so...
Was I at Walmart?
You may have seen a Sinoceratops at Target, so that maybe that's what you saw, yeah. But the Nasutoceratops, yeah, that's such an interesting one because, like, we've never seen it before. And yeah, I guess it's that hybrid of... or creating that Stegoceratops, and even like it's funny because like that pose is identical to the Stegoceratops. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself because I know these things. But on the back of the Dino Rivals, there's like a little collector's card, and that collector's card image of the Nasutoceratops is the same image as the Stegoceratops. So they just kind of like copied and pasted and took off the plates on the Stegoceratops. So it's interesting that they're still utilizing these things. But yeah, I don't know where this thing came from, and I hope we get that answer in the short. I think I narrowed it down with Aaron in the Jurassic Wire that like the battle in Jurassic World, between the Indominus Blue and the T-Rex took around 4 minutes. So if a short, is maybe 7 or 8 minutes, that gives you like, a few minutes for maybe like we'll say 2 minutes for exposition. So maybe we could learn in 2 minutes where this thing came from. Hopefully we find out, because I don't want it to just show up with no explanation as to where this thing came from. That would be a little off-putting. We'd all be like, what is going on? Where is this thing? Why is it here? So I hope there is an explanation. And I kind of look towards Jurassic World Live Tour in a sense, because like we know there are facilities around the world, InGen facilities even, or there's got to be other facilities, especially with all these people at the auction who bought dinosaurs. I'm sure they have facilities somewhere, so maybe they've been working on things. Who knows how long from the end of Fallen Kingdom to Battle at Big Rock is? I don't know. Maybe it's a few years. So maybe there's been time to create something like the Nasutoceratops, or maybe somebody else has been working on it. Who knows? But I think they need to, tell us where it came from. I would be a little upset if they didn't.
Yeah, I think they should. I want to know. So they should.
That's it. Jen needs to know. Universal, do it, please.
That easy.
I mean, that's what we were saying earlier, is if you want these things, you got to tell people, you got to let them know. So before, whenever this thing is released, we got to let them know. Tell us, please. Just throw Dr. Wu in there or do something, like have somebody explain, like, I made this thing in a lab. Okay, cool. End of story. Now we know. Where was it? Where was the lab? China. And then where it is. So it's easy as that. Doesn't need to take a full 2 minutes. You can do it whenever. But I'd be happy with a very minimal explanation, I think.
Yep, just something, though. I mean, they can't just throw it in there. So.
Yeah. But yeah, so Arjun, thank you very much. Let's move on. We're going to wrap it up here, guys. This is a very short mailbag. Of course, I did leave off. We always get too many, so I did leave off stuff this week, or this month. Let me figure out which one I think is the last voicemail. I think it's this one. Let's take a listen.
Hey guys, Brad and Jen, it's Veronica. I know It's been a while since I called you guys. I really just wanted to know how you guys were doing, and I see on Instagram and Twitter and all that things that you guys seem to be doing all right, but it's always nice to hear.
Jen, you doing good?
I'm here.
See, we're doing good. We're doing good. Right, Jen?
I'm okay. Hey, my Instagram got deleted the other day.
Oh,
and Brace's team rescued it. So how about that?
That is pretty fantastic that it came back. So yeah, that is a very good thing. I'm sure if she asked you like how you're doing, like a week or two ago, you would have been like, horrible.
Yeah. They got it back in like 2 days.
That's awesome.
They're superheroes.
All right, let's see what Veronica has to say.
What else can I call? Well, I feel like every time I call, someone before me has like stated something, and then I like reiterate it, and it's just like, But anyways,
Okay, so Veronica, you're going to be calling about the ride, the Nasutoceratops, Dino Rivals, and the Spinosaurus, battle damaged Dino Rivals items. So take it away.
I really want to call, and what I'm excited about was the interview between Bryce and Laura Dern.
Okay. Yeah, we did talk very, very shortly about this.
The other day ago about how Laura would definitely return to the JP franchise. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited, and I feel like they were like egging people on. I feel like actually Laura Dern is already in the production of JP3 just by the way that they were acting. I feel like she's going to be in it. Well, I mean, I can only hope she's going to be in it. If we got Jeff Goldblum for, Jurassic World 2, who knows? I am really hoping that she comes back and everybody else. Like, if that were to happen, like, what do you guys want them to do in the movie? I know everybody's going to be a little bit older, but yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys. I really hope you guys are doing well. Also, congratulations on your soon-to-be wedding day, Jennifer. I'm wishing you all the best. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Talk to you soon.
So sweet.
So yeah, we mentioned the interview. We didn't really touch on it too much. We just like, how did it make you feel, Jen? It was great. It was awesome. Yes. But what do you think? Like, I did get the sense that like this was all a big setup, and it wasn't like a big surprise that Bryce was sitting there. Like, because it was like, we do have a special person in the audience that's right there. Well, do you happen to see her? Her name's Bryce Dallas Howard.
My thought on that was, I do think it was a coincidence that they happened to be there at the same time, or that they were happening to be doing press at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a coincidence. But scheduling them together like that, as I think I said before, scheduling them together like that, having Bryce specifically ask that question, because usually when you ask, I don't know, Colin or someone a question where it's not finalized, just even an interviewer does that, they're like, I can't really answer that. I can't talk about that right now. For them to specifically highlight this and basically script Bryce into asking that question for video like that, I mean, obviously, I think it's a done deal.
Yeah. Oh, it 100% is. And I mean, we've basically known before this too. I mean, like it's been heavily rumored and talked about before. But this is 100%. I would say, well, very close to 100% confirmation. And it did seem like there was a little bit of a repertoire between them, even though they were like, saying how like they would like to work together or something like that. I feel like there is, some relationship there that, they know about that we don't. And I'm excited to find out what that is because I don't know where they could take that in the movies.
I know. See, we've been so focused on this interview actually happening, this moment happening, that we haven't really thought about where they would go with it.
Yeah.
But I'm just so excited that they're going to go with it. Like, I haven't even gotten to that part of my excitement yet because I've been just hyping up over this interview even happening. But oh my goodness, it's starting to hit me now that they're going to have original characters with Jurassic World, and I would be so much more excited if I did have that faith in Colin that he's going to write Claire correctly, because I would love to see like legit Claire, not dino confused, running from everything Claire, like a legit strong Claire in what she believes in and doing and has control over things and power over things and makes mistakes and is awesome. And I want to see that and Ellie mix so bad. That would be epic. But they got to write her correctly. And I'm a little nervous about that, as we talked earlier. But if they do that correctly, oh man, I'm on board. And it looks like it's going to happen. So, this excitement is hitting me now. It's fresh. Oh my goodness.
So I think it's an interesting comparison because we talked about, what is Bryce's role in this movie? Is she just a very, protective parent? And it's funny because like Ellie came into Jurassic Park 3 as a parent. Like that's what she was. Like, imagine hearing the rumors, back then that like, oh my God, Ellie Sattler's going to be back. Grant's going to be back. I can't wait to see what they do in this movie in Jurassic Park 3. And then you see that like Ellie's, just at home and with Charlie the kid, and basically she makes a few phone calls and saves the day a little bit. So imagine that. Like hopefully, first off, Bryce gets a bigger role. Hopefully Ellie gets a bigger role this time around. I would very much like her to be more. I don't know. She had some. What would you say the screen time is for her in Jurassic Park 3? We're talking about like 3 minutes in the beginning of the movie, and then maybe another minute. So it's not much. It's like 4 or 5 minutes total.
Tops, yeah.
Yeah. So I really want, and that's probably more than Jeff Goldblum in Fallen Kingdom. Maybe like it's
sad but true, isn't it?
It's on par, but like
yeah.
Ellie at least felt a little bit more impactful in Jurassic Park 3 than Malcolm in Fallen Kingdom for me. So I just hope that she has a little bit more impact. And, there's been discussion that maybe Malcolm will have more impact this time around. There really hasn't been a lot of talk about Grant, but I would assume he would be there as well if you're going to bring back the other two. So I just want some impact. But, how do you fulfill those roles in a fulfilling way where it's like there's no way in heaven and earth that you're going to get me back on that island or wherever. How are you going to get these people near dinosaurs again in a impactful way? Or how do they factor into the story? I don't know.
Well, you know what? We've had this discussion back when we were guessing what they were going to do with Fallen Kingdom and possibly bringing characters back. So we talked about they're all existing in the same universe. So they're existing and dinosaurs are in their backyard basically. So they have to be more involved, or not more involved maybe, but more in the public eye, in the Jurassic universe public eye. So maybe people will be looking to them to fix their dinosaur problems, and then they'll be like, I don't want anything to do with that. I put that away a long time ago, but then maybe they're thrown back into it because everyone is thrown back into it. So that would be an interesting mix to see that kind of dynamic, I think, of them being same. Actually, it reminds me a lot of how Sam Neill approaches Jurassic, because he can't really escape it. And people are always asking him about it. And he's like, I don't know, I put that away a long time ago. And same with Laura when they kind of brought it up. She was like, Yeah, that was good. Like, it was a long time ago, and I feel like if they did that with their characters, it would make a lot of sense. And I think I would like that idea.
Yeah, I mean, I still just like don't know how they can be impactful enough. I don't know. But yeah, if there is any kind of interaction with Bryce with Ellie, that would be awesome. I think like, leading ladies scenes together would be amazing. You wouldn't necessarily feel too worried about like Sarah Harding not making a return or Amanda Kirby, but I don't know. Like, man, I have no clue. I honestly have no clue what they could even do outside of the same things that I talked about and we talked about back before Fallen Kingdom, is like, let's just have them on the news, but like that's not very fulfilling.
Well, in Fallen Kingdom, though, all we had was the fallout of the park, and it was isolated to the park. And here the difference is that it's in the world, and I would like to think that those original characters are kind of important to the world, to the Jurassic Park world people in the universe, because they know them, they know they were there at the original park. Even Claire even mentioned in her book she was aware of what was going on, so people, the general public, knew what was going on. So I have to believe that those people would kind of turn to them, because even in Jurassic 3, when Grant was kind of at his little talk, they all wanted to know about his experience at Jurassic Park, and here I think that'll bring up that more than ever. And maybe that will pull them back into this story. Just the public wanting help from them, or advice, or just comfort in knowing that they might have more experience with it, especially given Claire's track record of constantly letting them out of things. Maybe they might look to the originals as some kind of level of control to maybe help guide the public through whatever they're dealing with.
So
that's the only thing I could think of.
Do you think the DPG still exists?
No. I want to say no. I want to see Claire in politics, and I'll take the Maisie stuff as long as it's not her main focus and main goal. But no, I don't think the DPG exists anymore. I might, but I'd be surprised if it does.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it did as well. But I think this could be a way to, introduce everybody, is if they do want that perspective from the old timers, if they do need their help in some sort of way, being like facilitators behind the scenes could help. Like, how do we interact with these things? How do we do these things?
Yeah.
That could be the best way, but maybe the only reason that they're bringing themselves back into the fold is because dinosaurs are everywhere or wherever else, That would be the only reason they would be there and not in Fallen Kingdom, because Fallen Kingdom, they're just like, just leave us out of this. We're done with it. Those dinosaurs are going to die on that island. Let it be done. And then when it's not done and they're affecting the rest of the United States or the whole world, then they get involved, I guess, right?
Do you think that they feel some kind of responsibility for it? Like, even deep down, like, after all this time, and now it's gotten even worse?
I definitely think so. I would assume, like, during those years where it was essentially like a cover-up, like after Jurassic Park, they weren't really supposed to talk about it, and Malcolm, of course, did. He started talking about it, and nobody believed him until the end of the Lost World, when a dinosaur roamed in San Diego. So I think maybe during that period of time, they can look back on that and say, like, we should have done something earlier, And maybe that could be a plot point, is like, we should have done this back in 1993, but we didn't. We chose to stay silent, take the money that they paid us, and shut up. But now we can't really do that anymore, especially when it's affecting the population. We have to do something.
Yeah, I really like that a lot. I'm a fan of that. That's pretty cool, and I would be happy if they did that. I like that idea.
And I would be okay if, like, the DPG existed still and that was part of it, because technically the DPG really doesn't have to have had anything to do with Fallen Kingdom outside of the beginning scene. Like, technically it wasn't like a DPG operation or anything. It was run by Mills and his crew, and Claire and Owen and them just, like, tagged along.
I'm going to go back with my my original DPG idea that I wanted for Fallen Kingdom, of it being, I remember this happened like 2 years ago, and we were speculating Fallen Kingdom, and I never got it. But that DPG was like a cover-up company. Like that Claire had this whole other idea going behind it. Maybe Mills did, or I don't know. People had this whole other thing behind it, and it was just like the cute promo for like a deceiving thing of asking for donations and all this stuff. But really, it was this. She was like running it for something else. I can't remember what our idea was, but that it was a deceptive property, and people kind of bought into it as, oh, we're saving the dinosaurs. But no, she had a whole different narrative for it, and motivation for it. And I feel like if it comes back, it has to be that. It has to be that kind of idea.
I don't know where you
another
take that, yeah.
go around would be it'd be a waste of time.
Yeah, a lot of it would feel like a retread, maybe, I guess, if you're like going back to the DPG facilities, in San Francisco, and hey, let's have some coffee in our office and watch a newscast and do all this stuff. And
she can't fall back into that. If anything, she would be in politics. She would use that DPG as like an influencer thing, or to hide behind her main goal, whatever that may be. But something really cool and deeper, and not be fooled this time, please.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want her to be fooled. Like, that was so sad. That was no. But if DPG comes back, I would like to see it in that way, and I don't think another way like that. Just that.
All right,
the way I
so-
wanted to see it in Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, I think we ended on like a blast of like, political thriller and stuff like that in our last episode. So maybe that's still the case. Claire needs like a dream team of like supporters to say like, vote for Claire. So she hires all these people who, could help her influence, and maybe that's them,
I think that's
maybe they're
really
on her
cool.
campaign.
I like the idea of her not being a villain, but bordering on that villain idea in a way. Like, I don't know, I'm not a villain, but the same properties that a villain would have, like a lot of like scheming, underlining, have a million steps ahead of everyone else, but always have the right idea for things, like have the right steps ahead, and just know people before they do what they're going to do, and have the power to initiate whatever she wants to do. I don't know what her goal is, but whatever it is, and even use that DPG, like really resurrect, like they'll need something to put up as a front, and she'll be like, well, I have this DPG program, and I could resurrect that and put that up as a front or as a distraction or something cool like that. I don't want anything to be face value with her this time. I want it to be a lot of underlying ideas, themes, and mistakes, because I like to see them make mistakes and have consequences, and that all fold out. That's way more interesting to me than just what they did in Fallen Kingdom. I don't know.
I don't know. I hope she's not, doesn't take a turn into a villain area. I don't see why she would. She seems very like
not a villain.
No,
not a villain, but you know what I mean.
Using her influence and stuff like that, because it kind of touched on that in the book. She was very, very strong and knew what she wanted.
That streak. I mean, Hammond isn't a villain, but yet he has that I'm referring to. Like she has that streak of, I don't know, not well, I guess ruthlessness, because it says that in the book. So yes,
you have to be like
what I want.
You have to be like a ruthless like business person in a way to move forward, and that's what she did, and she certainly was that way throughout the book and at the beginning of Jurassic World. So maybe that comes back in the political scene or something like that, and she plays people like pawns and gets to where she wants to go. But again, I don't know how this fits into a dinosaur movie. I have no idea.
I think it can, depending on whatever the plot is, like whatever they're trying to achieve. I feel like it could fall into it fine. It just, the fill in the blank is, what are they trying to achieve? Like, what's Colin's story? And I think it'll fit into almost any narrative. I think that idea, or that feeling anyway, can fit into almost anything.
All right,
it just depends on what he wants to do with it.
So big theory moving forward is there's no dinosaurs in Jurassic World 3. All the dinosaurs will be in shorts. So Battle at Big Rock, that's your dinosaur movie. Whatever the next thing may be, that's your dinosaur movie. But Jurassic World 3 is going to be politics and some other stuff that we talked about earlier in the show that I just don't remember. but I know it wasn't dinosaur related. Oh, it was like a documentary. Maybe that is a dinosaur.
Oh yeah, the documentary.
So that was not human related. But yeah, that I don't know. This is going to be a mess of a movie. Don't hire us to write the script.
I don't know. I think we did a pretty good job. I'm pretty excited with what we came up with. I'm excited for that.
I just say have another volcano. Just blow up everything this time. And Claire has to stop it. The volcano. Like, she actually has to stop the volcano. But Maisie's the key.
Physically stop it.
Maisie's the key. You have to throw her back into the lava to stop the... No, that's not. That's horrible. That's a bad idea.
Oh my goodness.
That's really
like
bad.
It's a sacrifice.
It's like the Lord of the Rings. I was trying to go for like Lord of the Rings, but like Maisie's the one kid to save us all or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Doesn't work.
This went to a place. Where are the dinosaurs in that story?
They're burned. Every one of them. Ash, hot lava, and pyroclastic flow. It happens.
Owen's immune now.
Owen's immune, yeah. So when everybody else dies, he's the only one left. That's the ending. That's the ending of the series. Little did you know when Muldoon and the raptor, handlers showed up in the first movie, it would all end with Owen and no other humans.
Yeah, I didn't know that's where it was going.
That's where it's going.
I'm shocked.
The start and the finish.
Wow. Well, now that everyone knows the end, like, why even bother?
Yeah,
with it?
Stop listening, stop watching, do all that stuff. We don't need it anymore. We know what's happening.
It's over.
But that's it. This is the June mailbag, and this was a mess. This was a true mess.
As the best ones are.
I don't even know if this is a best one. This is not good. Come on, let's be honest. Like, I don't even think I answered any question.
We never do, though, so that's right on track.
Yeah. So, Jen, let's get out of here. Where can everybody find you online? And and in this month of June, where can everybody find you?
Oh my goodness, you can find me absolutely every single place in the world. I am at the Bryce Dallas Howard. Oh wait, I'm at Jennifer Lynn Jennifer. What is my?
You can find her at Target looking at dinosaur toys.
What is my Twitter handle? Jennifer_Lynn89. That's where you can find me. You can also find me at the Bryce Dallas Howard Network at BDH Network. You could find the Howard Headline, which is the press accompaniment of Bryce Dallas Howard Network, which is thehowardheadline.com. You can find everything at Jurassic Vault except for pictures because I suck at having anything because I've been so busy. But I know Fallen Kingdom caps are a big thing people keep asking every day about, and I'm sorry, but I'm getting married in a few weeks and I just want to cry.
Yeah. It can wait.
Busy. I'm so busy. But yeah, you could find me at any of those locations.
You can find her giving out her monies to Universal Parks.
All of them. You could find me, oh my gosh, you could find me in the queue line of Jurassic World.
She'll be standing in front of the monitor 24/7 and everybody asks her to leave, but she doesn't. She says, I'm part of the ride.
That's where you could find me.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
And if Claire is like doing the voiceover on the ride, you can expect her to have her ears glued to the speakers. That's where she'll be.
Yep. That's if you ever need me, you know where to find me. I promise you I will be there at all times.
I'm sorry, but the park is closed, ma'am. You have to leave.
I don't care. I'll sleep on the ride. It's fine.
I just work here. Please, leave.
Just let me stay. Me hugging the monitor as they pull me away. Grabbing the gates. Like, no.
Upright Arlo comes out of nowhere and tries to drag you away.
Goodness, Upright Arlo. That's the best thing we ever came up with.
It really is. We can't top Upright Arlo. So you had to make at least one return in June, Jurassic June.
Oh, goodness. He's the star of Jurassic World 3.
I think, honestly, if anybody out there wants to create artwork for the Jurassic Mailbag, it has to be like me and you and Upright Arlo and like a mailbag or something like that. Please create that.
We've described the mailbag before. How we feel it looks.
You don't want to hear it again. Trust me. It's creepy at best.
That an Upright Arlo.
Upright. You know how many people ask me what? So many people ask me, what is Upright Arlo? What are you guys talking about?
We need a visual. Someone needs to make us one.
We need it. Yes, so people know what's going on and why that we're not completely crazy.
Completely.
So Upright Arlo is the new mascot of the mailbag. He's always been the mascot at heart, but it's official. As of Jurassic June 2019, it's happening.
I would love that. That's like how we celebrate. That's how we celebrate Jurassic June. By officially inducting the mascot.
Yes, we'd
Oh
officially...
my gosh, he needs to be holding the mailbag. Like, he needs to have, like, again, here we go. The Santa bag, like, holding it and upright.
He's dumping it out, all the mail's falling out of the sack, and it's just all on the floor, and we're just standing there like, hey, standing there together. So, just the three of us.
I'm picturing a green figment now, like, sitting on all these letters.
God. Oh, no. That's horrifying. That voice, you can't escape it. I hope he has a better voice.
That's where I went. That's where I am. This is my baseline right now.
And now everybody is there as well. So, yeah, this is
welcome.
Bad. This is so bad.
This is
Upright
what they
Arlo.
come here for.
All right, Jen, thanks so much for joining me. Let's take it out of here. Peace out, everybody. See you in July.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the 191st episode of the Jurassic Park podcast. Of course, a big thanks to Jen for joining me here today in the mailbag. I love this segment. It's always so much fun. I look forward to it each and every month. And luckily for me, it feels like months go by fast, so I get to do this each and every month really quick, it seems like. So, and it's all due to you guys because you are the ones who are sending in the voice messages, the MP3s, the emails, which I make fun of every time. I'm just doing it for fun. I'm not taking it too serious because I know I love poking fun at myself because I can't read these things. So we have a good time on the mailbag. But and I'm so looking forward to Jen's wedding. I will be there in attendance. It's going to be a great time. So the best of luck to both Jen and Josh. You are both two awesome, incredible people. I've loved, my time here with both of you, meeting up and all that stuff. So I am super honored to be a part of this thing and be there with you guys. So again, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it. Let's do this. Let's have some fun. But as always, make sure to send in your clips for the next mailbag for July. Man, that's coming up quick already. So call our voicemail line 732-825-7763. Like I said, email us. You can find all this stuff on our website. I don't need to repeat it again, which I probably will in the outro again, but you know how it is. So please send us some new stuff. We're looking forward to hearing from you guys. Also, it's time for the reviews. So as we do each and every week, I'm going to go ahead and read a few reviews here just to kind of shine the spotlight on all of you for taking the time and effort. I know sometimes it can be difficult to do this, but you guys did it. You wrote some reviews on the I can't say iTunes anymore because that's going to be gone. So that's Apple Podcasts. So make sure to go to Apple Podcasts and leave your reviews. I know they are transitioned over a long time ago, but it's kind of hard to stop saying iTunes, It's been around for so many years now, and it's time to say goodbye. But the first review is actually a brand new one. So let's take a look at this one from Dino Hunter 84. And the title is Impressed. So it says, I am truly impressed by how great this podcast is. I've been listening to the show since the very first episode years ago. And as a fan and listener of many different podcasts, I can say this is by far the best. The content, guests, regular contributors, and sound bites make this show stand out as something that is high quality and special. I should have posted this years ago, but I guess life finally found a way. Thanks for this awesome work you guys do. My family never misses an episode. So there it is. That was Dino Hunter. Thank you, Dino Hunter. That is really special that after many years, you still took the time to go ahead and leave a review. That really does mean a lot. And I always narrow it down to comments like this where you say, my family never misses an episode. That is something that feels really special to me. That is why I created this show. I wanted a family funly? Where am I going with that? A family fun, a fun family. Let's go that way. A fun family entertaining podcast that you can all listen to each and every week. So I'm glad I could do that, and I really do appreciate all those kind words. We try our best, everybody here, from myself to the other contributors, really try to put on something special for you guys. So I'm glad you think it's working out so far. I know I am messing up constantly, so that's a good sign that you like it. So thank you, Dino Hunter 84. So let's move on here to the next one. This one comes from Cats 8, and it says, best ever. I am addicted to this podcast. All Jurassic all the time. I love the analysis and picking apart everything in such great detail. Thank you, Cat 8. That is awesome. I agree with this analysis that we do pick apart everything in great detail. Whether we are accurate or not, that's to be foreseen. And you can judge that on your own. But I think we do a good job of at least picking apart as much as possible. Everybody always asks me, what do you talk about? We pick apart every single detail that we can think of, some more than others, but I think we do a decent job of covering as much as possible. And I've been thinking about it a lot. I'm trying to change up the topics even more than usual, so we'll see if we can cover some new ground here in the future with more analysis and more picking apart of some great stuff, great content, and of course, everything that will be coming in the future. I think there's going to be some really interesting new stuff to talk about. So we'll see, and thank you, Kat, for leaving that review. And thank you to everybody else that left a review. You guys are awesome, and I really appreciate it. If you guys didn't leave one and you're like Hunter or Dino Hunter 84 and you've been listening for years, you just didn't get around to it, it's okay. Just go ahead and do that right now. Leave us a 5-star review. And even if it's not 5-star, I'll probably read it anyway. But I really appreciate everybody's feedback and awesome words over on Apple Podcasts. But thank you so much to everybody listening to this episode. It is Jurassic June, like we mentioned. And you guys, I know all of you go out of your way to share amazing content this month, to post your own amazing content. So take some time this month to think about something that you want to contribute, because that's what it's all about. We need to help build an amazing community, and that starts with you guys. So we're doing our share over here, posting content for you guys each and every week. So you guys need to do the same. We need to show Universal that we all care, and we're here for it every single day of every single year. So share your content. We want to see it, whether you're an artist, if you're writing fan fiction. I know a lot of you want us to cover fan fiction. Point it out to us. Point us in the right direction. We want to read it. We want to go ahead and take note of it. So share your fan fiction this month. What do we say already? Art, fan fiction, your podcast. If you're going to create a podcast, Jurassic June is now the time to do it. Your videos over on YouTube, we want to see them. If you're going out to the parks, covering that with your YouTube channel, go show us. If you're in a store hunting down toys, show us. Do all of this stuff for Jurassic June. Celebrate the month of Jurassic June, because it's a big time for Jurassic fans. You guys know as much as I do. So go ahead, share it. We will be helping to share around all of your stuff. Check it out over on our Instagram page. We'll try to share as much as we can, and over on Twitter as well. So keep it up, guys. Keep up the hard work. You guys are awesome. You're doing a great job this month, and we'll see you guys next week, actually. So we're always here. We're always here doing it. Keeping Jurassic June alive all year long. Let's roll the outro.
Saddle up. Let's get this movable feast underway.
Please give us a follow on Twitter at Jurassic Park Pod, and myself at Brad Jost. Also on Facebook and Instagram at Jurassic Park Podcast. Don't forget to join the Jurassic Park Podcast group on Facebook. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, our website, or wherever else podcasts are found. So please be sure to subscribe. Also, don't miss our toy hunts and reviews, in-depth bonus content, live streams, gameplay, events and theme park coverage, and so much more on our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We will read your reviews at the end of every episode, so please be sure to spare no expense. Don't miss us on the web at JurassicParkPodcast.com, where you'll find today's episode show notes, wonderful articles, bios from our contributors, and so much more. If you want to get a hold of us, you can fill out the contact form on our website or email us, JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. We're always looking for new segments, contributors, mailbag submissions, or anybody who just wants to say hello. Feel free to call our voicemail line at any time to leave us a message. That number is 732-825-7763. Thanks for listening, and enjoy.
5 minutes. Drop what you're doing and leave now.